a lot of young people are not satisfied with the services that they're receiving, be it mental health services, child welfare services in general.
These are young people who have histories of trauma, abuse, and neglect.
Difficult relationships with peers, being broken from connections, being moved from home to home.
Lack of job opportunities.
And if you don't have a job, if you don't have any income, you don't have the opportunity to actually make those mistakes that are the best lessons for building financial capability.
If you have budgeting problems, that's the biggest challenge.
The biggest challenge is not having someone who they can rely on.
How to go about renting an apartment.
And who do you call when you got a job? Who do you call when something good happens? And where are you expected to show up for holidays?
The majority of those who are in need of services do not receive them, do not seek them, and there are reasons why. And one of those has to do with very negative evaluations and appraisals.
There's not a centralized location where a lot of the youth can get the resources at.
For example, an educational organization that's trying to figure out whether they can find the funding for this youngster for tuition to be in a program. But they're not going to help that youngster with what happens the moment he walks out of the office.
Maybe they turned down the idea of a family when they were 16 or 17 and suddenly they're 20 and they're seeing their friends who aged out become homeless and really alone, and they say, oh, I think I made a mistake. Can you help me?
We need to listen to the young people.
Do more research. What works for making sure that young people don't fall into too much debt, make good financial decisions?
Maybe if there's more of an incentive to, like a why pretty much. Like, why should I join this youth advisory board, or why should I join this workshop?
Courts can be terrific allies. There's a tremendous amount of authority that judges can bring to bear to make things happen.
There still appears to be the need for some form of care coordination.
To connect these young people to adults who will relate to them and care about them and look out for them.
Connecting them to that permanent family, because that permanent family is going to support them while they're in their 20s and 30s and 40s.
We define family as whoever the child says is family. So a next door neighbor, we consider a family. The person that runs the bodega, like 2 or 3 blocks away, that that your youth goes to get something to drink. So that's the group that we talk to. That's the group that we reach out and say, hey, would you like to learn what it would take to be a parent for a youth in care in general?
We need to do a better job of recruiting and training our foster and adoptive parents. We really need to get them of the mindset that this is not temporary.
But those services do need to be informed by the transitioning youth themselves, because they are the one who are receiving services and they are the one who can communicate how to improve those services.